series behind KT. If they beat KT, that's a chance to get a series, but they had to find a series somewhere else. They are one game away from taking down T1. That could be that other series. KT was unable to finish it out against HLE.
Yep.
That gave them the window, and now is the chance to close it out. They are on red side for the first time in the series. We'll see if they'll be able to do it. I think last game, it really was about that mid jungle, so I'm hoping they can get Gideon and Calyx a strong combination. Kingen, don't put him on tanks again, right? The Ornn is gone. I don't want to see you stick him on Sion, put him on a carry. He was in a bad matchup. He was really far behind in farm. Did it matter? Nope, not at all. So get him on a carry.
Yep, I also think Calyx, just keep doing what you're doing, buddy.
Oh,
absolutely
yeah.
Fantastic. Look at the grin on his face as well.
Oh, they're trying to force a Rise ban here.
Well, it's likely to be happening, but it depends. What does actually sneak through? Something
Nico?
like Nico is what we're probably looking at. I don't know whether Nongshim are that frightened of a Rise pickup. So I could probably see them just banning the Nico here instead and just saying, no, we'd prefer it if Carrier did not have that champion, as Gwen is going to be the ban instead. I actually think this is even better because the Gwen was kind of unanswerable.
Yeah, I mean, the only concern about the Rise is the fact that obviously a lot of mid lane has been taken away. So it's a bit higher priority in that regard because you have less tools to deal with it.
Yep.
When we think of some of the meta mids who are left available, Annie is still on the cards as something you could take as an option. You can obviously punish it because he has low mobility. Could take something like the Victor if you go a little bit further down the line. A lot of these mids have been swept up.
Yep. I'm interested to see what he has planned. It does look like it will just be the Annie.
Yeah, I think it makes the most sense. Again, you know, you can just slam Tibbers on top of him. He is a shorter range pick. He is a mobile. If you have a jungler that can pair well with that, it's going to be a pretty powerful combo. The question is what jungler, because what is left open and available? We've obviously seen Pantheon, Wukong, Jarvan, Xin Zhao taken away. Vi is banned. A lot of the AD junglers gone.
Yep.
Trundle, though, still there. Not the best sort of, you don't think of like, oh, what a combo Trundle Annie is, but just generally a strong jungle, and does limit some of the tank options.
Yeah, the Sion becomes much more difficult to pick here for Doran. Does mean also that Kingen can kind of slam a Sion on 3 if they want to, but you mentioned don't put him on a tank. I kind of agree with you, as the Lucian likely to come on through here as the Braum up and available as well. This could be an option. Oh, man. Oh, so they can't do it. So I kind of thought that maybe it would be straight into the Renata Kalista again, but you're not going to be able to pick that one up here with only one option available. Neela is hovered.
I mean, the theory behind this is that he's short-ranged, and obviously you can block the passive from the Braum, but I think you're just going to have a bad time into Rise as well. Jinx, so playing that long-range pick, I'm going to be honest, Jiwoo's positioning, even in the game they won, was a little suspect. So I'm a little concerned that you have an Annie in the mid lane. You know, Calyx was your big carry. He is now a more utility pick.
Yep.
You're putting Jiwoo in a hyper carry position. He needs to step up. There's no other way you can spin this. You put him in a position of trust, and he needs to make it work. It'll be interesting to see what Lehens pairs with that. The Lulu's going to get taken off the cards initially. I do like the Nocturne ban, denying some of that backline threat away. I also...
Why do I think that Lehens is definitely playing Blitzcrank this game?
I don't know, but I wouldn't like... I wouldn't like it. You know, it's like, oh, the Braum is far away from me. Not anymore.
Yeah,
you know?
Bring me the Braum.
Lee Sin gets banned. You know, we've seen like Zed into the Trundle. I feel like that's the sort of thing like Canyon would bring out here. Wouldn't be super against it. Definitely would make Jiwoo's life very difficult if you picked something like that. But generally, you know, you're leaning away from tank junglers because you're into a Trundle. A lot of the Bruiser junglers have been taken away from the pool. So does kind of make those picks sort of stand out. Renekton going to get taken away from Kingen in this situation.
Is Diana up and available right now if he does want to pick that one up? We'll see whether it is going to be a top lane pick, because that one could be held till that last counter pick on R5. As instead, the Yorick just going to be snapped up. Was banned in the last game. Kingen going to have access to it this time. A lot of terrain to be built here by Nongshim.
Yeah, and almost it feels like it was setting up for that, because I remember Doran decimating Perfect's Yorick with Renekton. So
yep.
Feels like maybe the Renekton ban was kind of threatening that they were going to go Yorick if you don't pick it themselves, forcing King to take it in this situation. Does give that sort of element of split push threat, but I think T1, you know, you have a pick here. They're going to go the Jax. They have the Ryze who can play the side lanes. I don't think they'll have too much of an issue dealing with that.
Oh.
And now looking for the jungle pick potentially. You know, I was talking about the Zed, another mobile assassin will be the Kha'Zix. I think the only problem with the Kha'Zix is you would have to find Jinx isolated, not always easy to do.
Ivan. We like the Zed a bit more. So
yeah.
The Zed is going to come through, and that's going to make us feel a whole lot happier.
I think when you look at this composition, you know, there's a lot of utility offered by the mid jungle compared to last game where the Pantheon Taleo was just killing people across the board. This is a lot more what a Trundle and Annie offer for the team. Annie's got a ton of burst, ton of setup.
Oh, it's a Janna angle.
Trundle's got a ton of utility.
Melio
comes
right.
through. I mean, it's not the Lulu, but it's got decent peel. But yeah, I mean, I think so much of this comp is reliant on Jiwoo and the Zed. If Ona gets ahead, Jiwoo can't play the game. That's literally how it's going to go. So I like the Zed pickup. I think T1 have a good pickup there. Interested to see the Melio. It's been a while since we've seen him be picked up. There was that period where we saw a lot of like Aphelios Melio. Can do a pretty good job of keeping this composition at bay. A lot of short-range threats. You know, the Q on Melio is so powerful, the amount of space it creates. If you can, you know, a Jax coming in with counter strikes, you can keep away. If you time it well in the Zed when he ults, you can create that space in the CC.
You also have Super Mega Death Rocket, Ultra Mega Fire Kick.
Wow, what a combo.
Which is a lot of words.
And the further away they are, the more damage the Super Mega Death Rocket does.
Yeah.
So you use the Ultra Mega Fire Kick.
And then hit them with the Super Mega Death Rocket.
For the extra range?
Yeah.
Oh my,
and he doesn't have access to the Mega Inferno Bomb, which is what I was talking, like, from the last game. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of Mega Ultra stuff going on in this game. I love what Nongshim put together in this composition, but I still think they need to play it well.
Yeah, feels like Jinx probably should have trademarked her ultimate name.
Yeah, because Ziggs kind of just took that one away. He is kind of that guy, though. Let's get onto the Rift for game number 3.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready to see whether Nongshim can do the unthinkable.
Well, I guess wasn't Ziggs first?
Was he?
Was he? Who was first?
I swear they came out at very similar times.
Oh,
we'll have to look that up.
This is when
yeah, let's look it up.
Haven't been playing enough LOL.
Yeah. Jinx released. I think Jinx she released in like 2012? 2013 in October.
Hey, when's Ziggs?
Oh.
When did my life just get infinitely better?
Ziggs release date is 2012, February 1st. So Ziggs did come out first.
Okay, there we go.
By about, like, by a while as well, actually. Over a year.
Okay, well, there we go. So Jinx was the copycat, and then Melio copied, you know, much later.
Yep. Very, very much later. All right, Calyx now looking to put a bit of pressure onto Faker here in this mid lane, but I imagine the Ryze is going to be feeling a whole lot better in this game, especially in comparison to game number 1, but also game number 2, where the Taliyah did have a pretty good time. Here on this bottom side, you might think of like, oh, it's like ranged melee and stuff like that. If Keria ever manages to land a good Q, it could be really problematic, but as you can see here, level 1, Nongshim are playing it pretty well.
Yeah, level 1 is so rough into this. You know, just the range, the Jinx, and also just the Melio, the fact that you have the 2 charges of the shield.
Oh, Garden Blaze dodged beautifully there as well. As this is also probably going to be a little bit of a rough one for T1 as well.
Do you not feel like that Yorick skin looks like Nasus a little bit?
It does have a bit of a Susan-y vibe.
Like a little, like a short Nasus.
Yeah, it's like it's a chunky Nasus.
Like a different dog breed.
Yeah. And we always thought that, you know, there were only 3 dog breeds in League of Legends. As it turns out, there might be another one. Because there's obviously Pugmore, and there's the Corgi that Corki rides, and there's Nasus.
What type of dog is Nasus? Are you good in dog breed?
I think it's like a Greyhoundy type vibe, because he's got the long face. Greyhounds kind of have the long face, right? Is there an Egyptian doggo?
You can't ask me. I've had cats all my life, you know, and when cats, it's like, you know, what breed is your cat? And you're like, oh, it's
cat. Our cats, we had a Persian cat and a Turkish cat.
Oh.
Which is pretty cute. The Persian one was a really imaginative breed name, which was called Persian.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Turkish one, really imaginative as well. Turkish long hair.
Oh, okay. So I thought you were just going to say Turkish, and I was like, wow. No.
Turkish long. I think that is to differentiate it from the Turkish short hair.
There is British short hair. It feels like there's a lot of just short
That's actually,
hair,
that's Valdez's cat's breed.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, or one of them, Charlie. Okay, here we go. Egyptian dog breeds include ancient types like the Basengi, Greyhound. Greyhound is actually, that's kind of crazy.
There you go.
Bison Hound, Pharaoh Hound. Pharaoh Hound probably sounds like that's Nasus. We can stop the tape there.
Yeah.
A Whippet is Egyptian? I didn't know that. Kind of interesting. A Saluki as well, which is just a very cool name, which I wanted to read. And they were depicted in ancient art, as well as more modern breeds like there's a bunch of modern ones. But we don't need to really care about that, because we know that Shurima is all about the ancient ones. Now, we've got some Flame Chompers that didn't quite work here for Jiu.
What was that gap? Has that Braum lost weight, you know?
He's definitely been doing his crunches.
All I'm going to say is Santa Claus is normally quite thick and jolly, and he slid through that gap. I mean, he does slide down chimneys, so it makes sense, but...
he's a bit magical like that as well. Or maybe it's just that the modern times, you know, social pressures are really getting to even Santa.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It did not look like there was enough space for him to get between the Chompers and the wall, but he did, and managed to evade the gank there. I think maybe would have just had to ban Flash if they'd got there in time.
Oh, we've got a picture of the Pharaoh Hound as well, and I'm going to say that that's pretty Nasus.
Yeah, I think I'm locked in on that.
Yeah.
Final answer.
As Kingin is going to try and stop Doran from just farming between the turrets. He's having a pretty good time doing that. As Nongshim still playing out this lane relatively well, as you can see. Only a few CS in the lead here for Jiu, but if the Jinx is winning, then so is Nongshim. That's kind of what their feeling is going to be.
Yeah, it's also so difficult because, I mean, Jiu hasn't gone cleanse, which obviously can be a bit rough if you get stunned early on, but at 6, Lehens has his ult.
Yep.
But they have the barrier, right? And it means in those extended trades, you can soak so much damage. And the Lucian Braum is quite bursty, right? Once you apply the passive, if you don't take them down between Lucian's cooldowns and the passive, feels like in the longer trades, you're just going to have a bad time. Especially against that lethal tempo that Jiwoo has. He has never set and gone down towards the bot lane.
Yeah, they're looking to actually find a little bit of an angle here, as Lehens throws his circle down. And Gumayushi is just going to try and punish him, but he just, look at that, just mega flame kicks him. Yep,
holding the wave for King and TP in, and now he's going to have to try and defend him. He is very low though. Ona, if you W in UE and an Auto, and I think Lehens just dies. Maybe the heal is so low. He's actually just burstable. Oh, and Fake is coming.
Yeah, they're looking for an angle. He can Realm Warp on top of this Milio as well, as Kingin, realizing that even he is not going to be safe, does have the defense of his Maiden here as the Gully Wall does come down. Lehens is still actually able to help Kingin out here as he does flash, but the stun is still going to come through. Still, this is a difficult dive here for T1. As Gumayushi gets tagged by a Q, but otherwise they will be able to make their way out. Still, that is a lot of resources used and not a lot gained, as Jiu is just happily farming this bottom lane.
So this is just perfect for Nongshim, you know, in a situation where it looks so scary, looks like the dive's going to happen. 4 against 2.
Does that mean Kingin for KT?
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, sorry,
sure.
I was confused.
You know, I'm normally on the ball with these, and then you'll just catch me with one.
And I really just totally ruined your point as well.
Ruins my flow.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm used to it at this point.
Are you though? Because I feel like that one really got you.
I'm used to being, you know, because normally I am. I'm better than this.
It's very true. So you were trying to make a positive point about Nongshim as well, and already that is like untreaded territory, as Gumayushi trying to catch up to Kingin here, and Kingin is very dead. That is going to be a kill going over to Ona. Faker is also dead in the mid lane though, so that first blood will be answered immediately here by Nongshim.
Yeah, there's the pressure you can put on the immobile rise. The pillar comes in, cuts him off completely, and Calyx is there as well. But I was going to say, It was great play defending the top side despite how low Loleventvods was. Obviously, Jiwoo got some solo farm, but then unfortunately Kingen oversteps and gets punished. Was very deep in that position. And now Doran getting a ton of gold here. There's alone time. Jack's on a tower.
Yeah. Satisfying sounds, but this is not so satisfying for Kingen, who was just closed in on here by T1. Not a whole lot he could do.
Yeah. But in return, I mean, this is just so easy to set up. The pillar there as well is such a bad spot. You know, he gets a phase rush, which is actually big into the trundle because it gives you the slow resistance as well. But it just doesn't matter because he has to run all the way around the pillar.
Yeah, the pillar placement was just perfect there from Gideon. So very, very well done.
Actually, no perfects on KT.
Ah, dang it.
We just established that.
I know, I keep running into it.
Yeah.
Could be a weird trade, though. As Guliwalt going to trap Gumayushi momentarily, as Keria once again going for the wraparound. Kingen's used to this one by now, but unfortunately doesn't have much of an answer. There is still an army of ghouls that are in position, and they're not going to quite finish this one off, as now Doran trying to keep himself alive, but he'll actually find the kill under the trundle. Even if he dies for this, it's still worth it, but he's surviving for so long. And there he is. Kingen is dead, and Doran is not.
Things not going so well now for Nongshim. T1 make the play on the bot side, pick up Kingen. Ona just there to sweep it up, but on the other side, Doran with the huge outplay in the Jack, specifically into the Trundle, into the Jinx. You know, against that 3-person, the Counter-Strike has so much value shutting down the damage. And he's still there. He doesn't even recall. He's just like, I want the farm too.
And he'll get it. I don't know whether the plate does actually go over to Jiu here. As Calyx, now getting himself into position, finds a cheeky little stun. As we're going to see this from Doran's perspective.
I mean, it's just the Counter-Strike value so big. You know, they just can't do any damage to him when it's up. Goes for the burst onto Gideon there. And then just the extra resistances from the ult, able to kite it out. Faker comes there to cover.
Man.
Beautifully played.
Gorgeous, stayed calm as well. You could see, wasn't exactly manically clicking or anything like that.
And the thing is,
exactly what he needed to do.
Now you're going to end up in a situation where Doran is really far ahead of Kingen, so...
Oh, there's the flash in, and the flash out is going to avoid everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, getting Annie flash pretty big, if I'm going to be honest. And Kerry has Spellbook, so I don't think he feels too bad about burning Summoners. But,
the bear is going to come on through here, as Faker now has to fight Tibbers and Annie, and unfortunately he's going to lose that 2v1.
That didn't look too difficult. No.
So didn't need the flash, as it turns out.
Yeah.
Just catches Faker going for a back when he probably shouldn't have been, as Super Mega Death Rocket going to get eaten there by Carrier. No door required, but Gideon in position. This is going to be a tough one. This is a massive wave. And so Gideon moving forward, tanking this one up as best he can. Gumayushi wanting to hunt him down, though. And Jiu is going to be able to pick up the kill. Gets excited, gets out of the way. Carrier still trying to keep them interested here as the Realm Warp to come on forward. And now Jiu, oh, the Flame Kick doesn't connect. And so Jiu is just going to die. Faker delivered that kill on a silver platter. Nongshim without their AD carry for the next little while. But still, it is only 200 gold. And they have a Jinx comp, so they're kind of happy.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing was Carrier landing that Winter's Bite at the end to get the stun. I will say also, the fact that Faker ended up dead was really important, specifically because he would have been able to TP earlier otherwise. So if he'd been able to get his recall off and TP in, maybe that just goes way worse for Nongshim, but because he was unavailable.
Calyx just kind of walked in and killed him. I guess Faker was kind of doing a bit of window shopping, unfortunately.
Yeah. A little uncharacteristic, but yeah, so if Faker's alive sooner, this play could have been so much worse, but the TP ends up a bit later when he respawns. When this Q from Carrier that catches Jiwoo just means his fate is kind of secured.
And he was almost always definitely going to die because Ono was in a really good position there, but Winter's Bite, that was the one that confirmed it. Yeah. As this turret is actually still going. Kind of crazy that it's on its last legs like this.
I think if the stun hadn't connected, at least would have bought more time. They'd have had to commit more.
All right, everyone comes in. Gideon's in position, though, to play defense as the death mark comes down. Jiu is just dead, and you iterated this earlier on. It's going to be really difficult for Jiu to play the game if Owner is fed, and he's fed.
Yeah, he is very fed, and it's already starting to become a problem. The cleanse wasn't available for the Hens, so once that root connects, Jiu just goes down, and you know, your top lane matchup has gone pretty badly. Your AD carry, yes, the Jinx is ahead, but if they just do this to Jinx every single fight, like an Annie isn't enough to solo carry team fights, I'm starting to feel a bit concerned for Nongshim and their composition.
Yep, having a bit of a worrying time as Doran is just going to kill the Maiden brutally. And that wasn't very nice to watch, as now Calyx is making his way up to avenge. He can actually throw down another one. The bear is available. The bear and the maiden, my goodness, there is just a lot of things. We needed an Ivan in this game. We almost had one, based on the hovers. It would have been over the other side of the rift, and that would have just been too many units on the board.
Yeah.
I think.
It does get fun when that happens, though.
That is true. All for one, Annie versus Ivan. I want to see that. That sounds like a fun one. But Gideon, he had an idea that this might be coming, but unfortunately, it just wasn't enough to save Gio.
Once the root comes down, you're just a sitting duck, and so easy for Ona to ult and just clean you up like that. Do have the Yuntal coming in for Gio, so obviously that item scales very well, but represents a bit of a trough when you first get it.
Yep.
But the fact you're ahead now, I mean, the Jinx is their pick they're sort of trying to scale up with, trying to invest around, but they really need to make sure they can protect Jiwoo. And he can just dish out the damage.
We'll see whether he can. Of course, you do have a fair bit of range, but Carrier is just looking to walk towards Lehans. Gonna find the angle here as Lehans is gonna get stunned up, but still gets close enough to the turret to keep himself alive. Gio also now at full health, so he's all right. As Lehans will be going back to base. Redemption to keep Gumushi and Carrier in this lane a little longer.
It doesn't feel good when they can just do that, when a Braum can just charge at you, force your flash like that.
He didn't even charge, he just sort of calmly walked towards them. So it's even worse than that.
It feels better for Nongshim if you say charged, but yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Dumbledore calmly.
Perfect. Still, T1 have a 2,000 gold lead at this point in the game. And, oh man, it's just so rough. I keep going back to what you were talking about before, and it's Owner is fed. So does that mean that it's impossible now? Is there still hope?
There's still hope.
The Nongshim side?
It's just hard. I think I would feel better if top lane hadn't gone so bad as well.
Yeah.
That's something a little bit of concern, but the thing with Zed is even if you are fed, if you get, you know, if Lehans lands a Q while he goes in for the ult, that can be a big turning point in a fight, you know?
Super Mega Death Rocket does absolutely nothing. That could be problematic here, but the Winter's Bite will be avoided here by Ju. He's starting to do some damage, but look at this. Yeah, Deathmark, you're dead. And Owner is going to do it again. This is what we were talking about. And the flash forward, he wants another one, and there's the double. Had the shadow prepped and everything. Oh God, every time one of these kills comes in, it just makes the game more and more impossible. As Calyx is looking to try and catch Faker on the rotation, but who's catching who at this point in time? As he's got a dash cannon, that's kind of cute.
Oh!
And Faker just blasts him back. There is Gideon turning up though. Calyx is able to walk this one out. The counter-strike to be used onto Tibbers as Kingin comes on over. There's the Glacial Fissure, and now the culling is just going to mow down the Maiden. In goes Doran. He's unable to finish off these kills as the kick does come back through, but they can't finish anyone off. Nongshim are at least keeping themselves alive now, but the door goes up and T1 go out.
Maybe if that sort of fight happens when Jinx has a couple more items, you could see the reset potential coming in. There's just not enough damage and people are still just so wary of going in and getting blown up by the base potential T1 has. So bit of aggression there from T1, doesn't really get punished.
Nope. They're even further ahead at this point in time. 4-0-1 on this Zed jungle. And Owner, it sort of looked like they were thinking that they could kill him, but it was a Melio and a Trundle.
Yeah, and Faker just runs up to Jiwoo, who's like trying to poke, and he just runs from his TP, ease him, Owner just jumps in and kills him. And it's that easy. And in this play, that was slick.
That was very clean.
Yep.
As Owner is then well and truly out of it. Calyx then seen on this ward. So Faker actually knew exactly what was going on here, so Carrier was already rotating over. Information was there for Calyx as well, and now he knows that he just has to get the heck out of there, but Faker with the blast cone tech, very, very nicely played. Still, not enough to actually get the kills, but unfortunately for Nongshim, another flash now has to be invested by Ju. Well, I believe what he did was he walked up the mid lane to the middle of the map.
Yeah, don't do that. Oh, don't do that. You know, not having the flash now on this Jinx, next 5 minutes are going to be hell. I'm just telling you now, Jiwoo, you're not going to have a good time. Oh. You ain't already having a good time. You're going to have a worse time.
Well, Calyx just walked towards Doran. Super Mega Death Rocket connects onto Owner and does nothing at all. He's got 2 items.
Yeah.
Jeepers.
those are some good items too.
Yeah, they are. They will certainly get the job done. As Kingen is 40 CS behind Doran right now, who has his Trinity Force done, an extra red rock, but also completed shoes. And yeah, probably a fair bit in the coffers as well. As Nongshim looking to set a trap here. Doran is like...
Kill him.
Yeah, this is the problem that I'm also getting to. Well, they're going to try. They're going to give it their best. As the bear goes down, Doran does eat a fair bit of that CC, but he is going to die in the end.
Okay.
There he goes. Dash cannon to death here by the Annie. And now we've got the stand beside Braum. Jiu trying to keep himself alive as Ona gets there on top of the Jinx, but Emilio trying to keep Jiu alive. The culling just barely not able to connect in the barrier, keeping him alive, but somehow the Winter's Bite lands, and Lehens gets the kickback that little bit too late. And he will survive. But once again, I mean, T1 are just sending the message. Your Jinx will always die if we want her to die.
I feel like the byproduct is winning the game, but the actual goal is killing Jiwoo. And they're doing a very good job at that. Oh, Gideon's looking.
Well, he's just going to walk into 3 people for now. Kingen trying to make his way over, but Gideon is just dead. And the question of what did he mean by this is on everyone's minds, as Kingen is also dead.
We kind of snapped over there, and I was like, okay, Gideon, what are you cooking? And then there was just nothing in the pot. Nothing at all.
Yeah. It's like that story of the guy turning up to the village and saying, if you make rock stew, all you need is this rock, and it's delicious. It's all about your imagination, and our imagination wasn't enough to make that play from Gideon look
good. My imagination is just not good enough, I guess.
Yeah. We could probably have tried to get there, but it feels a little disingenuous because it just didn't work.
I'm really trying. I'm really trying hard. It's just not working. It's not happening for me. They're looking for a trap here, maybe. Braum, not the best target.
Well, instead they're going to walk towards Gumayushi. Never mind. The teleport's coming in from T1. Mega Flame Kick is going to push back Guma as they get a teleport for their troubles.
I do want you to notice they did do... I'd say that's maybe like, what, 7% of Carrier's health?
There we go. That's not nothing. As Carrier once again thrown down an ulti is Gideon going to have to flash. Deathmark comes in, but Owner is trying to get out of there, and the turret shot is going to follow him. So that is a dead Zed. Nice little rhyme. Felt a bit nice to say as well.
Zed's dead, man. Zed's dead.
Yeah. But so that means the Jiu is going to be alive for the next 28 seconds.
And that's the sort of punish we can see.
Gideon is not going to be alive for the next 28 seconds. He is in fact dead.
Brother, please.
For 34 seconds. And maybe Jiu is not, maybe that was a cast curse. Maybe that's my bad. As Lehens trying his best to keep Jiu alive. We're just not going to watch it though. We don't want to, don't want to see it.
Guys, I just take a win for like 2 seconds. Just breathe, okay? You killed Ona, great.
Yeah.
And then just breathe in, breathe out. Before dying.
Back to game 1.
That's all you need, man. It's like they get the kill, and I'm about to talk about, hey, so this is what can happen if Zed goes in, you have CC ready, Calyx had the stun, great, fantastic, good stuff. And then Gideon just runs in a faker and gets one shot.
Well, I'm glad that you said that, as we do look at the replay here, but it's not as important as what I have to say, because you mentioned that Gideon was running a lot. Do you know what their acronym spells out now?
Hit me.
At gym. A fair bit of running at gym.
That is true.
So there you go. ATJYM.
That's pretty good. You've been cooking that this whole time?
Nah, just saw it just then.
Wow.
Yeah, perfect timing as well, I thought.
That's insane. That's actually peak acronym.
Yeah.
But also not what you...
Not great for winning the game.
Yeah, you don't want to be running it.
No, running it, not exactly what you want.
What did T1 have? Do they have anything?
Rule badges.
Wait, say that again.
That's just the Val problem.
Yeah.
Rule badges.
Yeah, no, they...
Yeah. It doesn't quite roll off the tongue like...
It's very funny, though. It's very funny.
Yeah. They just don't like... Well, I mean, I guess in the last game, they had a couple of Vals. That was pretty good. As the Drake was taken here, T1, with Double Dragon, and another one, Ox. And I think this was my fault, because I distracted you with the at-gym conversation.
Yeah.
So that's my bad. I'll take responsibility for that one.
Yeah. It's hard sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
Such great acronyms.
Well, Owner is back on the map, and so Gio is just going to have to spend the rest of this game avoiding him.
He has gone Phantom Dancer, which, you know, at gym, you want to run fast. Phantom
That's
Dancer
true.
has a lot of movement speed.
I think maybe like next item should be a GA, and then the next item should be anything else that can stop him from instantly dying. But he does need an IE, so he's probably going to be building that one second.
I think first item GA, you know?
First item GA would have been perfect.
Second item's on you.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that sort of game.
And Calyx is going to find Faker here, but
He doesn't really do that much damage.
Yeah. Realm Warp is still going to have to be invested here, as Faker does make his way over to Artikan. Says hi. The Artikan is still in vision, though, here of Nongshim, so they have information as to what's going on.
I like how you see like Guma peek out like, hello.
Yep.
Oh, control ward's down. No more surprises.
Very cute little doggo there as well. I wonder whether that one's a joke.
Oh, let's set a trap.
Yeah, Faker is going to find the Rune Prison. The culling is going to get eaten here by Gideon. Another great ult, but the Melio value is gigantic, and this time it's the Zed that goes down. And we do have an excited Geo as well. The Zap connects, and now Faker. Can he actually get the AoE? My God, the damage is disgusting, but Guma bites off more than he can chew. And in the meantime, the Yorick is in the bottom lane with the Maiden. And Nongshim are winning the fight.
They turn it around. As you said, Melio value massive there. Owner overcommits, can't cut through the Trundle in time. The healing comes in, the resets are there. Everything goes perfectly. Trundle's the first focus, and he just ends up a bit too tanky. They think they can finish off, but look at all the healing. And then he flashes away, dies to the last rocket. We see the momentum start to build up. Faker's so tanky, but the stun comes in. And then Guma sees his hero moment, goes for the angle, but the shield, the barrier, the flash.
And the piercing light didn't hit anyone because the flash out.
Yeah, and
they split immediately to make sure that they weren't hit. If that piercing light lands, maybe that's just a quadra kill right there.
And then Doran TP's in to try and help, which just means Kingin gets to push the bot lane. It all works out.
So now it's only 1.3k. Yes, and oh my God, the Chemtech value is repugnant.
It actually
by
is.
The way.
Oh my God, so many TPs.
Yeah, everyone's teleporting everywhere. Tibbers even. Sorry, the Maiden. Tibbers is available, so Tibbers theoretically was coming as well, but it's still in the Pokeball, as it turns out.
They're scrapping. They're ready to throw down right now.
You can feel it. The confidence that Nongshim have just gotten back is insane. They went to T1's house and they said, all of your tempo vibes, please, give them to me now.
And they have them in the back. Right now, leaning towards Baron and Atakan both up on the top side.
All right, Carrier going to stand beside. I don't know whether he's exactly the engaged target. There is Doran. He'll find the counter-strike, and all of them are dead. Yeah, T1 gave away their tempo vibes for a few seconds, but said, no, give them back. And there they go. Nongshim just fall apart. I'm glad we had that moment, though.
When in doubt, Doran. It's that simple. When in doubt, Doran. That stun was just magnificent. You know, the game got a little bit goofy, got a little bit messy. He just comes in and cleans up like that. And now Kingin and Lahans, I don't think he got it.
They certainly don't. Doran dives in yet again, and they're going to be able to take everything down. These Nexus turrets not going to be long for the world either. As Nongshim was a valiant effort, it was almost a comeback angle, and then it just wasn't. And at 26 minutes, T1 will take down the Nexus.
Man.
This was not the series I was expecting today.
No, it was not. It was a lot of fun, though.